Hello everybody, it is Good Friday, which is the anniversary of the day, supposedly, when Jesus died on the cross. And I am a Christ follower, not the Christians that people call today, but a Christ follower, someone who tries to actually follow his example by reaching out to people and showing them the love that he showed them. And so that's one death I'm mourning over today. The other is Edd Gould's death. And I'm ashamed to admit it, but I never heard of him until after he died. And it was a few months shy of a year after that, actually. And he is actually what I'm making this video about. I suppose a good thing to talk about to start this video off is how I got to know who he was, and how I became the big fan I am now. Matthew Slim Baker, my best friend in high school, or one of my best friends, but really probably my biggest one. He, for years, has been a big fan of Astor's movie and Tomska's work, like Drunk Science and all that, which is awesome. I'm a big fan of that too. But it was around middle of March when he found out this thing through Tomska called Edd's World, and he started watching things like Hello Hellhole and Hammer and Fail, and he became this instant fan. 1 week later, one single week later exactly, is when Edd passed away. Needless to say, Matt was devastated. Fast forward to, I don't remember if it was August or September of 2012. He and I started our own web series called The Brave and the Awesome. And our biggest inspirations at the time were Tobuscus's Adventures, which got us to make ourselves as the main characters of the show, The Laser Collection, and Team 4 Star's Dragon Ball Z Abridged. And it was sometime after we founded it that he remembered, oh, what was that show called? Edd's World! And he started talking a lot about that. And at the same time, he was really getting into Doctor Who as well. And he would use similar ways to describe Edd's World as he would describe Doctor Who. And Doctor Who, although I had never seen it yet, I knew it was a really popular TV show. And because he used similar ways to describe that with Edd's World, I thought, oh, Edd's World must be a TV show too. So when he would say stuff like, oh, it's such a cool show and the guys are so funny and you know what I mean? I would be like, no, Matt, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what Edd's World is. Hell, I don't even know what channel it's on or when it's on the air or what, you know? Needless to say, I had a lot to learn. So finally, around early December, I think it was my birthday actually, December 2nd, when Matt finally sent me the link to an Edd's World short that had just recently been done called Fan Service. By recently, I mean like, you know, early that year. And we would send each other like YouTube poops and Rick-rolling and troll videos and stuff before that. And we still did a little after, actually. And when he showed me that, I watched it thinking, oh, it's going to be another silly thing, you know? But I watched it and I was like, hey, you know, that was actually pretty decent. I wonder what else they did. So then I found myself watching Movie Makers, then I watched What the Future, then I watched Hammer and Fail, then I watched Moving Targets and Spares, you know? And I just became this instant fan since then. And I later started talking to some of the guys in the show, like I remember asking Tom something about Toaster Brains 2, and talking with Paul Tervoord about, you know, like how his animation has inspired me, and he told me thank you and also told me about some of the stuff that he was working on at the time, in particularly Fun Dead and Skeff Saturday and stuff like that, which is awesome. And Mark Lavaggio, I'm becoming a good friend of too, and started talking with him. But yeah, Edd, although I never heard of him till after he died, sadly, I wish that wasn't true. I don't know, I mean, I always like to try to mimic other artists' art styles, like Jim Davis, Charles Schultz, and now Edd Gould, because I wanted to try to learn these different angles or attributes from these artists so that I could develop a unique style of my own. And I still experiment with that. And I don't know, I mean, Ed was the one who inspired me to ditch the old anime manga kind of style that I would try to do that really wasn't very good, and go for more of a full-out cartoon look. And really, if it weren't for that, I'd probably still drawing this crappy little Japanese sort of thing. But I wish I'd heard about Ed or Ed's World much sooner in life, because if I did, I don't know what would have happened, but I probably would have been a lot more, I don't know, dedicated, I guess, because I'm pretty dedicated now, but I think I would have been even more so if I had heard of it sooner, like before he died. And so today is the 4th anniversary of when he died, and it also happens to be Good Friday, so I'm mourning over Jesus' death, and I am mourning over Ed's death as well. And honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do to plan over, mourn over Jesus' death, excuse me, but, because really you mourn over that every day, but he rose again, so you really don't need to mourn, you just celebrate. But Ed, on the other hand, for him, am wearing a Coca-Cola t-shirt. I don't know if he had one, but I know he'd like it. And I'm going to wear my green hoodie later. I'll show you that. It's my Lake Sumter hoodie. I'm actually going there in a matter of months now. I'm going to be wearing that later because it's going to rain. And I know it's going to absorb the water and whatever, but who cares? And most importantly, I'm going to drink a regular cola in memory of Ed. And normally I would drink like a Diet Ginger Ale or a Coke Zero or whatever, but this is a special occasion. I have to drink this. So, to Ed. Edd Gould, one of my biggest inspirations, who I wish I knew about much sooner in life. And yeah, I guess that's it for now. So, Heath Invader Vlogs out, I guess.